Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to cut out a few different symmetrical shapes. So I'm going to be using my scissors and a few sheets of scrap paper and a pencil or a marker you can use to draw some of your shapes. So there's two ways that you can cut out symmetrical shapes. The first way is to fold your paper. Now you can take any piece of scrap paper and just fold it in half. That means from one side to the next, matching up the corners. Press your paper down on the fold really good. Then whatever shape you want to draw, you draw your shape on the folded end of your paper. So notice there's a folded end that's not open, and then there's an open end. Draw your shape along the folded end. So I'm going to try and draw a heart and cut the heart out. Now, if I want this to be symmetrical, I have to draw only half of the heart. So half of a heart, if I drew a line down the middle, would look just like this, just that shape. So I'm going to try and draw half of my heart along the fold and then stop. Now I'm going to cut my shape out using my scissors. Again, I have to start on the fold. So from the fold, I'm going to cut my shape on the line all the way until I reach the end of the shape. Now, when I open my shape up, let's see if it's symmetrical and it makes a heart. It did. All right, I've made one shape. So that's one way I can make symmetrical shapes, is drawing on the folded end and then cutting and opening the fold. The second way I can make symmetrical shapes is to trace my shapes. So if I wanted to make two hearts that are exactly the same, I can take my first heart and my scrap paper. Using my drawing material, I can trace the second shape right along the edge of the first shape. Now I'm going to cut this shape out. Making sure I cut right on the line. And now I have two hearts that are exactly the same as each other. If I was to line them up, they are pretty much exactly the same. So I have two of the same symmetrical hearts. I can use these in my symmetrical bug as wings or a body or a head or whatever I think I can use this shape for in my plan. I can use these two shapes side by side or up and down or left to right. So I'm going to keep cutting out shapes here. I've tried a heart. Now let's try another one. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use the folding technique. So I'm going to fold this piece of paper from corner to corner. This time I'm going to draw a random shape. This is called an organic shape. This means the shape doesn't have a specific name to it. I'm just going to get kind of crazy with the way I draw it. Starting on the folded end, I'm going to use my lines to make something kind of weird. And then my last part of my line has to end at the fold. So I have to start and end at the fold. All right, let's see what this turns out like. This is going to be kind of a weird shape. Now it's okay to make really weird looking random organic shapes in your symmetrical bug, or you can use shapes that you know, geometric shapes like hearts and circles and squares and triangles. It's up to you what types of shapes you put in your symmetrical bug. So notice how I'm cutting on the line, and then I'm going to end my last cut off of the fold. Okay, let's open it up and see. Wow, that's a really interesting shape. Is it symmetrical, the same on both sides? Yep, it is. So I can use this in my bug too. Maybe this can be the bug's body and his legs. Maybe this can be the head. I don't know. I have to start putting these together to think about what I want my bug to look like. So I'm going to keep cutting shapes out, either shapes that I trace or shapes that I cut along the fold. So maybe I want some triangles in my bug. Maybe I don't want to do the folding method. Maybe I want to do the tracing method. So I can draw my triangle. And now I need to make sure it's exactly the same. So I'm going to trace it. You can create your bug with shapes that you trace or shapes that you draw along the fold, or both. It's up to you. Making sure I cut right along the line so it's exactly the same. Okay, I have two new shapes I can use now. Maybe I can put these on either side. Maybe these are his big claws. When I finish all my shapes, boys and girls, I'm going to glue all of my bug shapes to one piece of white paper for my background. I can start gluing them together to make my collage. Okay, I cannot wait to see what you create. Remember our cutting techniques.